Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring to their knees. No pain 'cause they ain't deceived. Rage is like a weed.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you to a very special edition Thursday stream. We are streaming live on 4 different platforms across 6 different accounts, and we are indeed turning up on a Thursday. We are getting set for what is to be one hell of a weekend, as of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle, shit. Do you smell that? Do you know what that is? Oh man, I will tell you what that is, baby. That right there is the smell of pure fucking excellence. Wait for it. Wait for it. To mankind. And this is the official rundown for AEW Revolution 2023, which of course is streaming live this Sunday, March 5th on Bleacher Report and all local social media platforms, with the 0 hour starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And we got a lot of material, a lot of good material to talk about indeed. But as you can see, I am not here alone. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful evening. Here with me today, for the first time ever actually, to discuss what's going down at AEW Revolution. She's a lifelong wrestling fan. She's a loyal DJ Storms posse member, a fucking mark for Billy Zane if I've ever fucking seen one. She is none other than Miss Lisa Marie. How you doing today, Toots?
I'm doing okay. Just enjoying this delicious Guinness beer after a long day of work, and just hanging out with you fine people.
We got plenty to talk about, that's for sure. But I greatly appreciate you coming on the channel, and I greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your oh-so-busy schedule. And we have certainly a loaded card to talk about. Obviously, we got some people in the chat already. I see Dee Dee's watching. Michael Vasquez is also watching. So shout out to them. Shout out to them. They are great. But we got Revolution happening on Sunday. And this is just the beginning of a huge, huge month for the DJ Storms brand as well. But as far as Revolution goes, I don't really want to start off with a negative, but I'm going to have to talk about this because this has been a weighing topic.
Yeah.
The build for Revolution has not really been up to par with what we've usually seen from AEW. And I'm not saying that it's been terrible, because it hasn't. But when it comes to the builds that we get towards these AEW pay-per-views, we usually have a theory and a blueprint of what's going to happen like 2 months before the pay-per-view actually starts. But it seems as though the pay-per-view only really started to take shape like 3 weeks before the actual show. You normally, if I was booking this, I would have had matches booked for the pay-per-view in January. That would have made things a hell of a lot better, and that would have made the shows feel a little bit more important. But I don't know what it was. For some weird reason, it seems as though Tony Khan hesitated with building this pay-per-view, and he focused solely on those weekly shows. Now, I don't want to discredit anything that Tony Khan has done, because he has done great, but at the end of the day, he has way too much on his plate. He has way too much on his plate, especially considering Ring of Honor is starting up. The first episode of the new Ring of Honor era is actually going on right now. I'm going to be watching it after we get off of here. So I'm actually very much looking forward to that. But he's doing Ring of Honor. He's doing AEW. He's got to do Dynamite, Rampage. He's got to focus on 4 pay-per-views for AEW, 4 pay-per-views for Ring of Honor. He's got to focus on appeasing the networks. The man is doing too much all at once. He's doing way too much all at once. And at the end of the day, that is ultimately going to be a detriment to him. It's going to be a detriment to him. It's going to be a detriment to the company and the shows overall. I've been discussing this since the fall of last year. Tony Khan needs to assemble a writing team. He needs to assemble individuals that are going to do what they need to do. He can have the final say. He can review over things, but he needs to put individuals in positions that he trusts, so that way we can actually start formulating some layers of power, in a sense. That way some titles will be taken off of his plate. He won't be so worn out, and things will actually flow a lot better. He needs different people helping write for different characters and different shows. I would be perfectly fine if he assigns one person for Ring of Honor, one person for Rampage, and then he could just write Dynamite, and they can all collectively collaborate as one to make sure everything flows from show to show to show to show. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm just ranting and raving just to rant and rave. Because at the end of the day, this card on paper, if booked correctly, looks like it could be the best AEW pay-per-view to date. There is not one dud of a match on this card. So if they play their cards right, it could be a phenomenal pay-per-view. I just actually want some better fluidity to the shows. And I know it may sound like I'm just ranting and raving for 5 going on 10 minutes now, but at the end of the day, it's because I care about the company. It's because I want them to get better and I want them to succeed. They're going to be around for a long time. They're not going to go out of business. So let's put that fucking narrative to bed. But I am just trying to help make the shows better. But I want to throw it over to you, Lisa. What are your thoughts on this overall build to the card itself, and what do you think we could be in for on Sunday?
I think the overall build to the card was very kind of sort of rushed. It was very kind of sort of rushed. He really should have started if not January, he should have started building it in beginning of last month, February. And I just feel like, as you said, he is spreading himself too thin. And I think it's going to start really, really starting to show on live TV. And fans pick up on a lot of shit. Fans are not stupid. So I really feel like he needs to take a step back. As you said, he needs to create positions, head positions for each single individual division within his company.
Yes.
That way he's not spread too thin. It's not all creative. It's the whole entire company as a whole.
Yes.
Like, I really feel that if he doesn't play his cards right, his house of cards is going to start crumbling, and fans are going to pick up on that.
Yeah. We're going to have to wait and see what's going to come out of Revolution. I do believe that this show is absolutely going to be one hell of a fucking show, and it's really going to set the pace. Yeah, it's really going to set the pace for what is to come for AEW, and it's definitely going to set the pace for what pay-per-views really are. It's really going to set the pace for what pay-per-views really are going into the rest of the year as well, because everyone has really been waiting with bated breath for what Tony Khan is going to do, considering he has not had his first pay-per-view yet, Ring of Honor or AEW, and now this is his first pay-per-view event. I do have a feeling that the eyes of the world are definitely going to be on this pay-per-view, but at some point in time, he's going to have to figure out a way to establish some positions, spread people to those positions, and really formulate a solid developmental and creative team so that way the shows will flow a lot better. Again, he's not going to go out of business, but the better fluidity of the shows equals a better overall product for us, the fans. Now, now the card itself looks great, and we're going to get into that, but first things first.
I do have a question, though.
Yes.
Do you think he might be concentrating a little too much on Ring of Honor right now?
I mean, it definitely is a possibility. It definitely is a possibility. I feel as though that he was very, very, very focused, and he was very stern on getting these Ring of Honor television tapings out there. And now that they're out there, it is, I guess it's going to give him a little bit of leeway, because he did a month's worth of tapings, and now he's got Super Card of Honor going on March 31st. And then afterwards, he's probably going to have to do another set of tapings. I know Hooligram, he's in the chat right now. Shout out to him. He's actually watching Ring of Honor. Keep me updated, man. I actually saw the Ring of Honor set. Yeah, the set looks great, and I hope that we get some good matches as well. I heard Takeshita's going to be there, Mark Briscoe, the Embassy's going to be there, Claudio and AR Fox. That should be a great ring event. But Ring of Honor, I'm definitely looking forward to that. But it's a possibility that he could be concentrating a little too much on that. I don't really want to say that it's really taken a lot of a hindrance on Dynamite, only because of the fact that Dynamite has been largely very good this year. Same with Rampage. Rampage has gotten a little better as well. But we'll see what comes out of Sunday. But before we get into what we're going to get into, before we get into the actual card, where can everybody find you on social media?
Twitter and Instagram both is That Girl Lisa New York.
You can check out both of those links in the description.
And it's not New York spelled out. It's just NY. That Girl Lisa NY.
Both of those links are in the description. So if you guys are interested, please go check that out. And of course, as far as I go, you can follow me on Twitter at HistoryMakerDJS. That is at HistoryMakerDJS, both on Twitter and Instagram. You can go and check me out on Facebook as well. We're streaming live on my personal Facebook as well. For collaborations and business inquiries, please go send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Please make sure that you like the official DJ Storms business page. And I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, please make sure, if you haven't already done so, go and lock in your calendar dates for the last week in March, heading into the weekend of April, because I'm telling you, it's going to be probably the busiest week for the DJ Storms brand. We got March 26th. It's going to be the rundown for Super Card of Honor. March 28th, rundown for NXT Stand and Deliver. March 30th, the rundown for WrestleMania 39. A dual rewind on Saturday, April 1st, April Fool's Day, a dual rewind. It's going to take place at 4:30. That is right, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, because Stand and Deliver is going to take place before WrestleMania Night 1. And it's going to be a dual rewind of Super Card of Honor and Stand and Deliver. That's going to be on April 1st at 4:30 p.m. And then, of course, you got none other than the rewind for WrestleMania Night number 1. That is going to be on my birthday, actually, April 2nd. my fucking birthday. It's going to be 24 fucking years of reverence. 24 years of reverence on April 2nd, 2023. And at 2 p.m. Eastern time on my birthday, we going live for the rewind for WrestleMania night number 1. And then on night number 2, WrestleMania night number 2 rewind, that's going to be on April 3rd, Monday at 2 p.m. So it's going to be one hell of a fucking week for the DJ Storms brand. I hope you guys are going to join me along for the ride. Please make sure that you're following all the Hardcore Sports social media pages, including the Twitch at Hardcore Sports 1, Instagram Hardcore Sports Network, Twitter Hardcore Sports N, and of course, YouTube Hardcore Sports Network, because we are looking to be the number 1 brand in all of sports analytics. We are rising to the top, baby. We are rising quicker than fucking foam rises on a cappuccino, like the fucking fizz and the carbonation rises on the fucking Guinness that Lisa's holding. It's going to be one hell of a fucking weekend, for sure.
DJ, you are a fighter jet of awesomeness.
Damn fucking right I am. And
Woo-hoo!
Don't you fucking forget it. Also, please, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Share the stream out on all social media platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever social media platforms that you may be using. And, of course, when you hit the subscribe button on YouTube, whether it be my YouTube channel or the Hardcore Sports YouTube channel, hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way, you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, oh, baby, it is the best time to be on YouTube. Why? Because it's the only time that you won't get to see this glorious sideburn shin strap combination and this beautiful mustache right here. Earl is doing his thing on the Wrestling Experience, but we're going to do one for him because I got this beautiful jet black ace comb, and we are going to light it up on the channel with a little and a dash of and a whole lot of because like chicken nuggets, hot and fresh out of the oven, chicken nuggets, just like the side of mac and cheese that I had for dinner, just like a nice hot steaming plate of ravioli with the marinara sauce. I am just so good. You already know the drill. Everybody wants a piece of the Storms Meister. I applaud you, Lisa, for keeping your composure because everyone usually laughs at that. Just because I'm just that fucking good. I can break people at any time. But regardless of that, we're going to get straight into the festivities here. We got plenty of news to talk about. And oh, by the way, I believe this is one of your peeps, if I'm not mistaken.
Hi, Skyla. I love you.
Appreciate Skyla dropping by. Of course, you know, she's dropping by for the Storms Meister, let's be real. No, anyway. Let's talk about Revolution. We got Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks. Everyone is banned from ringside. Everyone in the JAS is banned from ringside.
No Daddy Magic, boo.
Sorry. It's all about Ricky Starks, baby. The Revolution is televised. Anyway, I'm actually going to hand this over to you first. I want you to give me your best analytical dissection of this match and who's going to come out victorious and where do either of these individuals go afterwards?
I really believe Chris Jericho is right now in a position in the company where he is there to put many of the new younger talents over. I don't really think that he is going to be winning this at all. Ricky Starks definitely has a lot of momentum, a lot of the fans behind him going into this match against Chris Jericho. And I definitely think that Ricky Starks is definitely going to be winning this match.
Now, this is an interesting topic. I've seen a couple of people bring it up. Action Andretti, he is still tied up with the JAS in some way, shape, or form. Do you see a heel turn for Action Andretti? Is he going to join the JAS? And is he going to be tied with Jericho after he helps Jericho beat Ricky Starks, because again, it's all the members of the JAS band from ringside. Action Andretti ain't really a part of the JAS. So that's just a dark horse pick. That's something that we can just throw out there. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
I think Action Andretti is going to prove himself to Chris Jericho and the Jericho Appreciation Society by trying his best to help out Chris Jericho, and I feel that he's going to try his best, definitely. But the thing is, I think Ricky Starks might actually have a plan of his own up his sleeve.
Now, it's definitely going to be interesting to see where it goes, for sure. I'm definitely happy that Ricky Starks has been a regular on AEW television. He has definitely worked hard to get to this position. And if anything, I'm potentially looking at Ricky Starks winning a championship at some point, probably within the next couple of months. Now, if I was booking this for me, I would have Ricky Starks win this, and I would actually have Ricky Starks take the All-Atlantic title from Orange Cassidy and have Ricky Starks do his thing with that championship and potentially build up a guy like Lance Archer to take it off of Ricky Starks when the time is right. Because Lance Archer, I want to see more of Lance Archer. I want to see him go out there and just absolutely beat the shit out of people. That's my type of shit when it comes to AEW TV. But for me, I do believe that Ricky Starks should definitely get the win here. It's just definitely, it's hard to think that if we do see a heel turn by Action Andretti, which again, it's like just a shot in the dark there, just for anyone that's interested. It's very, very hard for me to think that Action Andretti is not going to help Jericho actually get the victory. Now, Jericho, he's been on a little bit of a losing streak, so it's always possible he could come out victorious. But I actually do agree with what you said. I do believe that Ricky Starks should be the one to come out victorious here. This should be the end to the program, and I would absolutely move Ricky Starks on to an All-Atlantic title match with Orange Cassidy, and I would absolutely give the title to Ricky Starks. Where do you see Jericho going from here? For me, I would personally love to see Daniel Garcia really break away, because they've teased that a couple times. And Garcia, he hasn't really been all too buddy with Sammy. I mean, he looks like he's just kind of masking his true feelings. So if you're asking me, I would love to see Daniel Garcia really try and break away from this. Or if anything, I would love to see Jericho and Sammy potentially start to blame Daniel Garcia, because every time Daniel Garcia has the opportunity to get the job done, he doesn't get the job done. He's lost to Action Andretti. He's lost to Wheeler Yuta. He's lost to Ricky Starks. He failed to help Sammy win the ladder match to see who was going to face the TNT champion. So if anything, they could do a storyline where they start blaming Daniel Garcia. And if I was booking this, I would love to see Daniel Garcia versus Jericho at Supercard of Honor on March 31st. That would be a great big-time undercard match for what is already looking like a monstrous stacked card, according to the spoilers for the Ring of Honor tapings, which I will not spoil for anyone here. You can go look that up if you want, but I'm not going to spoil it here. But if you want to do Jericho and Daniel Garcia for Supercard of Honor, I would not be opposed to that. But where do you see Ricky Starks and Jericho going after this match?
I see Ricky Starks going on to the All-Atlantic title picture. And then I see Jericho possibly going on a recruitment spree. I agree with what you said with Jericho and Sammy Guevara are going to start playing the blaming game on Daniel Garcia. But I do think that Daniel Garcia is definitely going to be breaking away. And I feel that Action Andretti is going to be the replacement for Daniel Garcia, and Jericho is going to do something like your initiation is to take out Daniel Garcia.
They could potentially do something like that. I can't really give a straightforward answer as to where either of them will go, but that's definitely my ideal situation if I was booking this. I would absolutely give Starks the All-Atlantic title, because he's not winning the world title. He's not going to win the TNT title. The All-Atlantic title is the best possible suit for him. Orange Cassidy's held it for plenty of time. He's held it since October. I think it's time we get the title off of Cassidy and we put it on a guy like Ricky Starks, and Ricky Starks could do his thing with the All-Atlantic title. Everyone loves Ricky, so Ricky should automatically make that title great, and Jericho and Garcia would be my ideal plan for Supercard of Honor. But I think we're Ricky Starks across the board here, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Ricky Starks all the way.
TNT Championship. We got Samoa Joe and Wardlow. This is the wrap-up to what is going on with this long-awaited program. I love the fact that they actually mentioned as to why Samoa Joe cutting Wardlow's hair was so important to this storyline, because it was Wardlow's connection with his father. I thought that that was a very nice touch to the storyline, and it actually made me a little bit more sympathetic towards Wardlow, and it made Joe look like a little bit more of a heartless fucking savage, which I love. So we got this match. I do believe that this is going to be better than their last match. I think that they should get a little bit more time. And ultimately, it was a very windy and twisty road to get here. But I ultimately do believe that they're going to put on a pay-per-view worthy match. And ultimately, I do think Wardlow should win back the TNT title. There's really no other way to do this. Wardlow needs to win the TNT Championship. If Wardlow does not win, I don't really understand how anyone's really going to take him seriously for a long time, because this right here, this is what he was meant for, and they took the title off him when they shouldn't have. They gave it to Joe, then they gave it to Darby, then they gave it back to Joe. The TNT title has legitimately been treated like a hot potato. And ever since Wardlow lost it, it hasn't been what it used to be. Wardlow was the right guy to hold that championship for an extended period of time, and when he should have continued to hold it through Full Gear into this year, it just completely derailed all these plans. If anything, we should have absolutely have gotten Wardlow remaining the TNT champion going into this year. And if you wanted to, you could have built up a powerhouse Hobbs. Or if you wanted to, Ricky Starks could have beaten Chris Jericho here, and then he could have beaten Wardlow sometime after Revolution. Because at that point, Wardlow would have held the championship for an extended period of time, almost 1 year, at least around 250 days. So I don't really understand why we had the TNT title being flipped back and forth. It was actually very, very frustrating, and it really devalued the prestige of the championship. So it was a long, windy, twisty road to get here, but I do believe that we will end up getting a decent match between Joe and Wardlow, and Wardlow should absolutely win the TNT championship. I don't want to hear Wardlow losing that championship until the fall. No plans about Wardlow losing that title until the fall. We need Wardlow with an extended championship reign, fighting top guys, and I'm glad that we're getting Hobbs and Wardlow. They're going to tie up loose ends there, which I'm happy about. Then we start getting some actual fucking feuds built in for Wardlow. Guys like Archer, guys like Darby Allin, guys like Sammy Guevara, guys like that. If you want to do an Eddie Kingston, you can do an Eddie Kingston. Although supposedly he's on Ring of Honor now for the foreseeable future. You could do that. That's what I want to see. Guys like if you want to do Christian Cage, you could do a Christian Cage versus a Wardlow match. I think that would be a fantastic program with how good Christian Cage is as a heel. Maybe bring back Luchasaurus. Give me Luchasaurus versus Wardlow. That's a match that I definitely would love to see. A lot of different options that maybe Pac, Phoenix, Penta, any of those individuals. But at the end of the day, Wardlow needs to win the title, and Wardlow should not be losing that championship until November, Full Gear time. I do not want to hear any fucking peeps out of anyone. Lisa Marie, the floor is yours.
I believe Wardlow is the correct person to win this, but I also see Powerhouse Hobbs being a major player and a major factor at Revolution.
So you see Hobbs getting involved here?
I do. Because remember at Revolution last year, Wardlow was the one to powerbomb him off the stage. I think there's still that, friction there because of that. And I really do believe that Powerhouse Hobbs is definitely going to be gunning for Wardlow. And I do think,
well, here's something that you do have to take into consideration also. That may be true, but if you remember, back at Full Gear in the triple threat match with Samoa Joe, Hobbs, and Wardlow, it was Samoa Joe that choked out Hobbs to win the championship.
yes.
It wasn't, he didn't beat Wardlow, he beat Hobbs. So, if anything, he could cost either one of these individuals. And there was a sign of respect being shown between Hobbs and Wardlow after the match. So, I don't know, maybe Hobbs cost Samoa Joe rather than Wardlow. To me personally, I don't think he should show up. I think it should be straight up clean. I think it should be straight up clean. Wardlow beats Joe. Wardlow ends the feud with Joe. Joe goes down to Ring of Honor, does his own thing down there for the time being with the Ring of Honor World Television title, and then he can make his way back up to AEW Dynamite and feud with whoever. But I would much rather have Wardlow win it clean. But
Me too.
Hobbs, I do believe, is going to be a major player this year. And if anything, what I would do is I would have, obviously, Ricky Starks win the All-Atlantic title, and I would build up Hobbs going into All Out to take the All-Atlantic title from Ricky Starks, and you could do a battle of Team Taz once again, because last year they didn't get enough time at All Out. Now you have them this year at All Out fighting for the All-Atlantic title, and you actually make it a staple match, a must-see match. That right there would be, it would really come full circle for them. So that's what I would personally do, but I don't see Hobbs winning. Hobbs should not win anyway. Wardlow's absolutely the correct individual to win. So I'm going to go with him. Is there anything else you want to add?
No.
You sure?
Go Wardlow.
So we're Wardlow across the board here. Let's move on here to the women's championship title picture. We got Jamie Hayter, Saraya, and Ruby Soho triple threat match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Let me hand it back over to you. Give me your best analytical dissection. What's going to happen? Where do all three of these women go? And here's a good question. Where do you think is the best place to put this match on the card?
I think in the middle to break it up a little bit.
Okay. So, all right. Now give me your best analytical dissection. Where do all three of these women go after this match, and who's going to win?
Jamie Hayter is not ever going to be losing that title. She is going to probably be the one to carry it the longest. I think they're building because the fans are clearly behind her. The entire world is clearly behind her. And I really feel that she is going to have the longest reign of any AEW women's champion. And I really believe that she's not losing at all. She's retaining on Sunday. And I really do believe that within this match, Ruby is going to be making a decision on which side she's going to choose, leading up into either Double or Nothing or Blood and Guts.
So here's a question here. Do you see Ruby Soho making her decision and siding with the freelancers or the ex-WWE women now? Or is Jamie Hayter going to beat Saraya and Ruby Soho is going to get a rematch because she wasn't pinned? And then after Ruby Soho loses that, then is she going to make her decision?
It could be either or. It could be either or. AEW is very unpredictable when it comes to outcomes like this.
I mean, it's definitely a possibility. It's definitely a possibility, but maybe if anything, if you really want to kind of make it a bigger occasion, I think that Ruby Soho returning here could very well be the catalyst to bringing back Hikaru Shida, because Shida hasn't been seen in quite some time. Yep. Shida was once aligned with Toni Storm and Saraya. We haven't seen Shida with them in God knows how long. So if anything, I do believe that Ruby joining the freelancers and then Sheeta coming in, and then we have the 3v3, that right there is really going to have the battle lines drawn in the sand. And then maybe we could add a couple more individuals. Now, who would be those more individuals? Because for Blood and Guts, it's either 4-on-4 or 5-on-5. Could you potentially see Athena joining the freelancers?
I could see maybe Athena joining the freelancers and maybe perhaps Jade Cargill siding with the OGs.
I don't think that Jade Cargill is going to side with the OGs, actually, only because I think she's doing her own thing. She doesn't really seem like an individual that's going to team up with anyone. I was personally thinking Thunder Rosa.
Yes.
I was thinking Thunder Rosa. Now, if we get 5-on-5, I don't know about you, but I do believe at some point, maybe Forbidden Door, I think that we could see Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks. I think we could see her swoop on in and join the freelancers, make it 5-on-5. And as far as the fifth for the OGs, I mean, I do believe that maybe giving an opportunity to someone like a Willow Nightingale would do a lot. Maybe a Riho, but I personally prefer Willow Nightingale because I think Willow Nightingale she's definitely a future AEW Women's Champion. She's got everything that you would want in a women's professional wrestler. So that's just a theory. I'm just throwing it out there, but what are your thoughts on that? Could you see a Mercedes Moné coming in?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that would be that would explode the wrestling world's heads right off if she came in and debuted and became a part of the freelancers ex-WWE stars.
Now, here's a question, though. When could you see her coming in?
Maybe as a surprise for Double or Nothing. If the match takes place at Double or Nothing.
Now I heard some rumors circulating. I'm not going to say if this is definite or not, and I have not really heard what specific sources have confirmed this, but apparently they could be looking to do Forbidden Door in the Tokyo Dome, and we could get Hayter and Mercedes, champion versus champion. I'm not lying. I mean, I know it sounds like a professional wrestling fan's fantasy wet dream, but I'm not lying there. That's actually a report that's going around.
That would be a prolific moment in the history of professional wrestling.
You know, it would definitely live up to what Mercedes Moné is all about. She's all about making history. She's all about making moments. Yeah, she's all about making history, making moments, and she's all about creating memories that are going to last a lifetime. And that right there, that could definitely inspire a lot of people. But for now, I do believe that Jamie Hayter is going to retain. No reason for her to drop the women's championship. And if she does end up holding the women's championship the longest, I would not mind that whatsoever, because at the end of the day, she is fantastic at what she does, and she's still getting mega fucking pops, and she's super uber over. And at the end of the day, I do think this is going to be a very good women's triple threat. I think all these three women are going to bring their A game, and Jamie Hayter's absolutely going to retain. I think we're Jamie Hayter across the board here.
Absolutely.
Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page. Texas Death Match. My personal contender for match of the night, and a match that I have personally been looking forward to for a long, long time, considering that this feud has been going on for quite some time. And based on what they've been doing, we've been getting great matches every time with them, including back in October, including January and February. I didn't think that they were going to do the February match, but apparently the February match was to set up this last match that they were going to do here, and I can't really complain about that. These two have really lived up to expectations when it comes to the Jon Moxley-Adam Page match, considering that they were two individuals that They never fought before. And finally, after 3 years of AEW, finally, they're having this feud, and this feud is not disappointed. We've been getting excellent matches. We've been getting a lot of hard-hitting action. We've been getting a lot of underlying storylines. We've even been getting some back and forth between the Dark Order and the Blackpool Combat Club. But I did call it. It was going to end in a Texas death match, and this is exactly what we are getting. This is Adam Page's match to win. Jon Moxley, I do believe that he is going to go on his vacation finally. Don't know how, though, with the momentous streak that he's been on. But at the end of the day, I think it's time that Jon Moxley gets his well-deserved vacation. And as far as Hangman Adam Page goes, I've been predicting this for a couple months now. I do believe that this is going to be Hangman Adam Page's way to getting back to the AEW World Championship. And this is going to be the match that sets up Page and MJF at Double or Nothing. And if you guys remember, it was Double or Nothing 2019, the Casino Battle Royale, where Hangman Adam Page and MJF were the final two competitors in that match. And Hangman Page eliminated MJF in order to win the Battle Royal, with Hangman Page moving on to challenge for the AEW World Championship at All Out against Chris Jericho. Now, with that being said, it would be poetic justice 4 years later for them to main event. And it's quite interesting how MJF was the one that got eliminated last. Page won that match, and now MJF is the world champion, and Hangman Adam Page is chasing MJF. I think that would be a great program going into the month of May, and I do believe that that is absolutely the best way possible to go, and we could absolutely get loose ends being tied up with that storyline, because we've been waiting for a proper MJF Hangman Adam Page storyline for quite some time, and I do believe we're going to get that, and we're going to get that at Double or Nothing, but it's going to all start with Hangman Page beating Jon Moxley in the Texas Death Match. We did get some very good promos with Jon Moxley and Hangman Page last night on Dynamite, and I do believe that these two are going to absolutely go out there and fucking tear the house down. I don't want to discredit anyone else on the show, but I do believe that this match could end up stealing the show. If you're looking for Match of the Year candidate, I am looking at Jon Moxley and Hangman Adam Page here, and I do believe Adam Page is going to walk out victorious. Lisa, what say you?
You know that this match is going to end up in the crowd.
Yep.
You know that this match is going to end up in the crowd. At least, I feel that it's going to end up in the crowd for at least a good solid 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's going to start off for maybe 5 minutes, in the ring. And then everything is just going to be chaos and mayhem outside of the ring. And then I really believe that they are going to put on a banger. And I believe that Jon Moxley is now in the position where he wants to help build up Adam Page. He wants to help solidify him a little bit more within the company, because Adam Page is one of the main pillars of AEW, foundational pillar. And I believe that this match is going to be a 5-star caliber match.
So, where does Adam Page go? You see him going elsewhere other than the MJF feud? Because again, listen, that's just my prediction. It's not a definite. So I don't know where Adam Page is going to go. Jon Moxley, I think, is going on vacation. Or maybe we get Jon Moxley and the Blackpool Combat Club challenging for the Trios Championships. But either way, where can you see either of these men going after this match is over and this feud is over? Because this is the proper end.
I believe that Adam Page, as you said, he is going to be challenging MJF because he wants to get back into that world title picture. He wants to become the champion again. And I'm not too sure where Moxley and the Blackpool Combat Club go, but I would definitely like to see them, as you said, challenge for the Trios Championship.
I mean, if you really want to get interesting, I would send Jon Moxley down to Ring of Honor and have him, Yuta, and Claudio go after the Embassy. You want to give the Embassy a big fucking win And I mean a big fucking win. You want to give them a big win? Have them go up and beat the Blackpool Combat Club for the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Championships and build up the Embassy as a major force to be reckoned with. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I would love to see Blackpool Combat Club in the Embassy. That, to me, sounds like a pay-per-view worthy match. So you want to build something up like that for a Ring of Honor TV or maybe a Death Before Dishonor, you could absolutely do something like that. But, it's definitely a question mark with Jon Moxley, but I know for a fact that wherever Jon Moxley goes, Jon Moxley is going to be one hell of a hand in whatever he does because he is indeed what he says he is. He's the ace of AEW. He was absolutely the pro wrestler of the year for 2022. No shadow of a doubt with everything that he did for AEW. And Hangman Page, I definitely see him going and fighting MJF, and that's going to be a proper storyline built up. And it should be yet another great staple in MJF's World Championship title reign. I say that once again, we are same wrestler across the board here. Adam Page across the board.
Yes.
Yeah, we're 4 for 4.
Moxley's going to need a pretty long nap.
Fatal 4-way match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Guns, the Acclaimed, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, and Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. I got to be honest with you, this turned into a match that I was really looking forward to now a match that this is probably the least favorite match that I'm looking forward to on the show. And it's because of who they added. I understand the Acclaimed and the Guns. I understand that, but Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Listen, Orange Cassidy is one of the best. Orange Cassidy is one of the best in the world right now. He is absolutely fucking phenomenal. Anyone that denies that is a straight up fucking retard. I have no problem looking you dead in the fucking face. If you are a detractor of Orange Cassidy and you're telling me, oh, this guy's got nothing to offer or this guy ain't shit, I have no problem looking you dead in the fucking eyes and calling you a fucking retard, because that's exactly what you are. But at the end of the day, why does he need to fight for the tag team titles? First of all, he's already the All-Atlantic champion, and he's doing damn good with the All-Atlantic title. He's defending it almost every single week in great matches. He is wrestling. He's showing everyone why he's a great wrestler, number one. And number two, Danhausen and Orange Cassidy aren't even a real tag team. So why exactly are they in this match? Just because the best friends were injured? Then you got Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Now, I don't mind Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, but I mean, they've already seen their day in the tag team title hunt. Why do we need Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal challenging for the tag team titles for a third time within 3 months? We've seen it before. They did it. It was 2 innocent matches with the Acclaimed, entertaining matches with the Acclaimed, and that was it. That was it. It was done and over with. Why are we having them in this scenario again? Now, at the end of the day, the Guns should retain. The Guns are going to retain. They should retain. I don't see this ending any other way than the Guns retaining. But why do we need those 4 other men in there? It should have realistically, if you were going to put those guys in there, it realistically just should have been the Acclaimed and the Guns, part 2. Now, if you wanted to insert the Lucha Bros in there, if you wanted to insert the Dark Order in there, if you wanted to insert Aussie Open in there, if you wanted to insert Top Flight in there, that would have been a little bit of a different story. But at the end of the fucking day, they didn't. And at the end of the day, we got 2 teams, one of which is not even a tag team, and the other shouldn't even be challenging for the tag team titles because they've already challenged for them. It doesn't make any sense why you've effectively made the vibe of this match worse. Now, it could end up being a decent match, and all of us could be proven wrong. All of us could end up eating our fucking words. But at the end of the fucking day, I am all about making matches, especially the matches on pay-per-view. I am all about making matches and making the pay-per-views especially the best that they could possibly be. Again, could it end up being a decent match? Yeah, it could end up being a decent match. We could end up eating our words. But at the end of the day, you've already put the crowd at a very, very mid type of vibe. with the other two teams that are in there besides the Acclaimed and the Guns. If you were going to put those teams in there, should have just been the Acclaimed and the Guns. Now, at the end of the day, Guns need to retain. The main question of this is, do we get the daddy ass heel turn? That's the question that I'm going to pose to you. So I want you to give me your analytical dissection. Give me your analytical dissection on this match. Give me your thoughts on this match. Did they do a disservice by adding those two other teams to the match? And will we see the daddy ass heel turn?
We are definitely getting the daddy ass heel turn at Revolution on Sunday. I think it's going to be. I think fans are kind of like leaning towards expecting it, but then again, that might not happen, and he could still stay with the Acclaim. Who knows? But the thing is, I really think that the addition to the addition of Orange Cassidy and Danhausen was kind of like, they are great. They are wonderful. They are just absolutely two brilliantly talented wrestlers and guys. Orange Cassidy and Danhausen are definitely two of the people that are leading the company. They're very good with kids, but I really don't think that they should have added them to the match. And along with Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, they had so many other teams that they could have used, like Top Flight and 2.0. They could have added them too, but I definitely see the Guns retaining this Sunday at Revolution.
Now, here's something that I want to pose. We haven't really gotten too much of a story developing of Daddy Ass splitting from the Acclaimed. So, could we potentially see Daddy Ass get involved and he could inadvertently cost the Acclaimed? And maybe the Guns pin somebody else to retain? And maybe we get the Acclaimed and the Guns in a tag team match sometime on Dynamite, and then we'll get the Daddy Ass heel turn?
I could definitely see that happening. I could definitely see Daddy Ass accidentally costing them the match, and that will plant the very first seeds to his eventual heel turn on the Acclaimed and aligning back with his own sons.
Because at the end, because at the end of the day, if Billy Gunn inadvertently cost the Acclaimed, that would give the Acclaimed a reason to really be mad at him. Now, they were already a little bit mad at him when he got involved when he said he wasn't going to get involved when the Acclaimed lost the tag team titles. But now they haven't really followed up on that. Now, if Daddy Ass inadvertently cost the Acclaimed, and then we get the Guns pinning someone else, and then we get another match between the Acclaimed and the Guns sometime on Dynamite within the next month or two, that could definitely be the catalyst, and that could be the day that Daddy Ass turns heel. And I do believe that if you're going to do it, I'd much rather have it in a match with the Acclaimed and the Guns 2-on-2 rather than those other two teams in there, whereas the spotlight will solely be on the Acclaimed, the Guns, and Daddy Ass. So I would actually hold off on the heel turn and just have Daddy Ass inadvertently cost the Acclaimed on this one. But the Guns should absolutely retain. No exceptions here.
Do you think that Daddy Ass could turn on the Acclaimed at not Revolution, but Double or Nothing? Do you think that they could play this out until then?
No, I think that's a little too far out. I think that Daddy Ass should turn on the Acclaimed at some point within the next month, and then they could build towards one last match with the Guns and the Acclaimed. But ultimately, I do believe that FTR is going to come back, and FTR is going to be the team to take the titles off the Guns, because the Guns did send FTR on vacation. So it would make sense for FTR to come back and get their revenge on the Guns by taking the World Tag Team titles off them. Maybe we get FTR versus the Acclaimed versus the Guns at Double or Nothing in a triple threat tag team match. That would be great. Maybe we get that. But ultimately, I do believe FTR is going to win the tag team titles in the end of all of this.
Do you think they're showing up at Revolution?
No. I think they're showing up at some point after Revolution. But we're the guns across the board here. Once again, we're 5 for 5 here. So, the Elite. This is Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, versus the House of Black. Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews for the AEW World Trios Championships. There was really nothing much. There's really nothing much to this match. Really, no story going into this match. And at the end of the day, if they're going to book this match, I've already talked about this. You need to give the House of Black the fucking Trios Championships. There is legitimately no other faction. Maybe the Blackpool Combat Club, but they haven't really been doing much in the Trios division. There is no fucking faction that is the better faction to take the titles off of the Elite than the House of Black. This should have waited, if you're telling me, this should have waited until Double or Nothing. This should have waited until Double or Nothing, and that is when the House of Black should have won the Trios Championships. But at the end of the day, no. We instead had to wait, and now we're getting the Elite versus the House of Black at Revolution. Does it make the pay-per-view better? Yes. Yes, it does make the pay-per-view better. Why? Just look at those 6 men. You're gonna tell me that this match with those 6 men in it, you're telling me it's not going to be one hell of a fucking trios match? Of course it is. But at the end of the day, you rushed to put this match on Revolution simply to make the card better, not caring about what could happen afterwards. You're thinking about the now rather than the future. When it comes to shit like this, you need to think about the future. You're caught in a fucking corner here. The Elite just won the Trios titles back in January, and the House of Black, they shouldn't be losing. They've been undefeated since they came back, especially as a unit. They've been undefeated as a unit since they came back. House of Black shouldn't be losing. What do you do? What exactly do you do? You're caught between a rock and a hard place. If the House of Black don't win here, if the House of Black don't win, you better, and I'm talking to Tony Khan here, Tony Khan better fucking continue the program after Revolution if the House of Black don't win. The House of Black, in no way, shape, or form, can come out of this program, whether it be at Revolution, whether it be a month from now, whether they continue it all the way to Double or Nothing. The House of Black must come out of this program with the Trios Championships. If they don't, it is an absolute fucking failure. This is a waste of time. This is a complete waste of time, and it will ultimately go down as a fucking failure if you do not give the House of Black the Trios Championships. Now, I pose the question that if the Elite lose, is Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, are they on their way out? Now, the Young Bucks contract, they don't expire until the end of the year. Same thing with Omega. Omega and the Bucks contracts, I don't think expire until November, if I'm not mistaken. So they got plenty of time. But at the end of the day, why book this match now? Just for the simple fact of, it makes the pay-per-view card better. No shit. But you need to think about what's going to happen afterwards. House of Black, whether they win or they lose, House of Black, in the end of this program, whether it lasts 2 weeks, whether it lasts 2 months, the House of Black must come out of this program with the Trios Championships. Now, if you're asking me, I wouldn't fuck around at all. I wouldn't beat around the bush. I wouldn't bullshit. I wouldn't bullshit at all. I would just give the fucking titles to the House of Black here. If you're asking me, just give them the fucking titles. The Elite, they don't need the Trios Championships. And if you're asking me, the Bucks would suit the tag team division a lot better. I would love to see matches with the Acclaimed and the Guns. I would love to see more matches with Top Flight. I would love to see more matches with maybe another match with FTR. Maybe FTR comes back, wins the titles in a couple months, and maybe we get the Bucks versus FTR at All Out this year. That's what I would love to see. That's what I'm looking at. And Kenny Omega, if you're asking me, if Punk's not coming back, which I don't think he is, I think he will come back, and I do believe that Punk is going to wrap up that storyline with MJF at All Out in Chicago. If Punk is not going to come back, though, you got a perfect fucking world title match at All Out this year between MJF and Kenny Omega. That right there is a perfect match to continue to build on the already impressive resume that MJF is building for himself. Think about it. Think about this. By September, Think about by September, if MJF on his championship resume has Ricky Starks, Bryan Danielson, Hangman Adam Page, and then Kenny Omega. I mean, holy shit, MJF may as well go into the fucking AEW Hall of Fame first. That's what I'm looking at. So, if I'm Tony Khan, I am not beating around the bush, and I am not being hesitant at all. I just give them the fucking titles here. I got House of Black. It's either House of Black here, or it's House of Black at some point within the next month or two. They must win the trios titles. They have to.
I believe it's either House or Black or bust. House of Black or bust, because if they don't put the trios championships on the House of Black, either here at Revolution or sometime in the future over the next couple months, leading into Double or Nothing, or even at Double or Nothing, it would be a massive disservice to not only the House of Black, but as well as the fans. I really believe that, well, I do love the Elite. I do think that the Elite have had their time with the title, and I think it's time for them to put over the House of Black and solidify them into a premier trios champion. So, what do you really think that they're more prone to doing? You think they're going to give it to him here, or do you think they're going to wait another month or two? Just to have the Elite, hold it for another month or month and a half. I mean, like, if that's the case, I would kind of understand it, but you better do something that's going to kind of alter what happens at Revolution and kind of give the House of Black a reason to be seeking a rematch. You have to give them some sort of reason. You can't just beat them clean. So if you're going to beat them with a roll-up or something like that, or whoever wasn't the legal man, you could do something along those lines. I definitely wouldn't mind that, but you better have a fucking plan at the end of the day. I think if it's not here at Revolution, I definitely think it could play into Double or Nothing in Las Vegas as a final showdown at a bigger pay-per-view. Yeah, I can definitely see that. But because I do believe the House of Black, like, while Revolution is a spectacular pay-per-view, you know that Double or Nothing in Las Vegas is their premier, like, WrestleMania type pay-per-view. It is their top pay-per-view of the year, and I do feel like House of Black winning at Double or Nothing would have more of a significance. Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, I'm going with the House of Black here, but who are you going with here? Are you going with House of Black? And can I just say how much I'm loving Julia Hart in this role? All right, so we're going to have to solidify that once again. We have the same pick, House of Black, right there. The next one is probably the most unpredictable. This is Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Christian Cage. This is a no-holds-barred match that was confirmed. It is not a Buried Alive match. It is a no-holds-barred match here at Double or Nothing. This one, honestly, could swing either way. I honestly don't have a specific answer as to who's going to come out victorious here. But based on what's been happening, I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards Christian Cage. And I say that because, A, Christian Cage did just come back. This is his first match back. And if you're really going to kind of channel Christian Cage as that sadistic bastard, and you're going to channel Jungle Boy Jack Perry as the underdog babyface that's coming from behind and fighting like all hell, that right there is the perfect opportunity to give Christian Cage the win, and then potentially we build towards either an unsanctioned match or steel cage match down the line between Christian Cage and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. That's what I would do. I would have Jungle Boy Jack Perry take the loss here, but ultimately he's going to look good in defeat. Jack Perry's going to take the loss,
And Christian Cage is going to get the win here, considering it is his first match back. And then we will build towards one final match between the two, with Jack Perry going for the going for a steel cage match or an unsanctioned match. Then I can absolutely see, if you want to do this, Jack Perry, after he beats Christian Cage, I can actually see him winning the Casino Battle Royale at Double or Nothing again. I can see him winning it again and fighting MJF in the summer for the world title before MJF moves on to whoever his opponent is at All Out. Maybe we see Jungle Boy inevitably main event All Out. Who the fuck knows? I think that would be a great move to see Jungle Boy mix it up with MJF. I think that would be really good for his career. It would be really good for MJF's title reign as well. But as far as this match goes, I think I'm leaning more towards Christian Cage. I really am. I think I'm leaning more towards Christian Cage to get the win here. And I do believe that Jungle Boy Jack Perry is going to be built up like the underdog babyface that he is. And he will inevitably fight Christian Cage in either a steel cage match or an unsanctioned match when the time is right. But let me hear you.
Well, I do believe that either Christian Cage or Jungle Boy could both win. It could go both ways. I do believe that their rivalry, this is going to get even more nasty post-Revolution. I don't think that their story ends Sunday. I think we're going to see things ramp up between the two of them after this pay-per-view on Sunday, after Revolution on Sunday. There's a lot of unpredictabilities, to be honest with you. Like, Luchasaurus too, could have a major playing factor too post-Revolution. And I really feel that Tony Khan is saving a lot of, not to say that there's not going to be any good stuff at Revolution, but I think he's saving a lot of the major turning points and a lot of the major good stuff at Double or Nothing this year. Between Revolution and after Revolution is the build up to Double or Nothing. And I see this rivalry between Christian Cage and Jungle Boy reaching the absolute apex and conclusion at Double or Nothing. This is not over by any means.
Yeah. So, who you got here? I got Christian.
To be honest with you, I don't know.
You got to give me something.
This is a wild card because both of them could win.
You got to make the choice.
Oh,
I'm sticking with Christian here.
I'm thinking Christian because he just plays a whole lot freaking more dirtier than Jungle Boy.
It would make sense. It would build more sympathy for Jungle Boy.
Yes. I see, while I want Jungle Boy to win, Christian Cage is the more logical choice to keep this rivalry going. And for it to
I wouldn't have Luchasaurus get involved. I would actually have Luchasaurus do his own thing. I would have Luchasaurus come back, branch off on his own, and go after Wardlow for the TNT title after Wardlow wins that title back. That's what I would do.
Big man shit.
There you go, big man shit. Speaking of big man shit, main event. Event. It is MJF versus Bryan Danielson, 60-minute Iron Man match for the AEW World Championship. And in MJF's words, if you don't think he can last 30 minutes, ask your mother, ask your sister, and ask your skank girlfriend, according to MJF. But regardless of that, this right here, I do believe that this is going to be one hell of a stamp and one hell of a notch on MJF's record. It really will be. This is one match that I do believe that MJF is going to take probably more seriously than any other match that he's ever had, simply because of the fact that he's in there with someone who is heralded as one of the best in the world and a guy that will go down as one of the greatest of all time in Bryan Danielson, with how much he's done for Ring of Honor, AEW, WWE, and the whole sport. Well, with what he's done for the whole entire sport, it is very, very rare that you come around a guy that is as great as Bryan Danielson. And with him in there with Bryan Danielson for 60 fucking minutes, this right here is going to really push the limits of MJF. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing how they play this out. Now, I don't know. Maybe do they go the Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart route? No eliminations, or no eliminations, no falls until like the very end. Or maybe do they go the Sasha Banks and Bayley route, where maybe they try and get falls via a count out or a DQ, something like that. Some nefarious shit's going down. But either way, Bryan, he's looking to kick MJF's fucking head in, so that's going to be great. And MJF, I do believe MJF's going to walk out victorious here. No reason why MJF should be losing. MJF is pulling a Roman Reigns with that championship. He's not losing that title until next year. Hell, I would have him hold it all throughout next year as well, because he's just that fucking good. But at the end of the day, MJF is not losing that championship until next year. They got some options to take the title off of him, but in the end, I don't believe that MJF is going to be losing that title this year. He's not going to be losing it at any point in time in the early stages of next year either. He is holding that title for minimum 500 days. Fucking minimum. He will be the longest reigning AEW World Champion. And in the end here, I do see Bryan Danielson doing the job for MJF. MJF will retain. The one thing that I am interested in here is where does Bryan Danielson go? That's something. So let me turn it over to you. What is your prediction on this match, your analytical dissection, and where does Bryan Danielson go?
I just want to start off by saying that this match is going to be one of the most brutal matches from hell. And I say that in the most absolute positive way. This match is going to be like I don't even know. Like, there is no definition to describe the match that's going to take place between MJF and Bryan at Revolution. I feel, I'm totally in agreement with you, that MJF is probably going to be the longest reigning champion of them all, because let's face it, he is the flagship superstar of the flagship wrestler star of AEW. And I believe that MJF is probably not going to lose it until Double or Nothing of 2024, or even take it as far as to Full Gear of 2024.
I would have him do it to Full Gear 2024.
I do think that he's probably going to take it that long. As far as where they go, I believe MJF is definitely going to be entering a program with Adam Page. I think Adam Page is going to step up into the program. But I also see maybe possibly a Kenny Omega getting back in there too. I also see post this match, I do see maybe Bryan going down to Ring of Honor to establish some stuff down in Ring of Honor.
Maybe, but I mean, for me, it seems as though he's more needed on Dynamite. It's just very, very difficult to think about where he could possibly go. I mean, if you're asking me, I think the best possible route for him is after the House of Black beat the Elite, maybe the Elite can get their rematch on Dynamite. I would build towards the Blackpool Combat Club versus House of Black at Double or Nothing. That's what I would do. Maybe a match with Ricky Starks for the All-Atlantic title after Ricky Starks beats Orange Cassidy. I don't know. That's up there. The thing is like, what would he do in Ring of Honor? Challenge for the Ring of Honor World Television title? Maybe we get a match with him and Claudio. I don't know.
It's very unpredictable to where Bryan could go.
I guess that's going to be the fun part about Bryan Danielson and where he goes, because no matter where he goes, it's definitely going to be one hell of a ride for Bryan, because anything that Bryan does turns to absolute gold. But we got through that one pretty quick. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of The Rundown. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into the stream. Thank you to Skyla, Philly Talk Sports Podcast, Big Boy Johnny, Dee Dee. You are all fantastic. Shout out to Hula Grim as well. Shout out to Black Heart Revolution. You guys are great. Thank you for all the support. You guys are fantastic. And again, this channel would not be anything. This brand would not be anything without you guys. And of course, above everything, Lisa, my boo, thank you very much for coming on. You've been one hell of a guest. You've been fantastic. You brought a great analytical perspective to the table as well. And I will toast to you here, even though this is just ice water.
I'm pre-gaming for St. Patrick's Day.
There you go. You're getting ready for St. Patrick's Day. A little early, yes. But Skyla's shown some support. Shout out to her.
Thank you.
But first things first, before we get out of here, where can everybody find you on social media one more time?
That girl, Lisa NY.
Damn right. Obviously, you know what to do with me. Like, comment, subscribe, check out all the links in the description. We are getting busy. We also got 2 ISPW events here in Jersey. If you guys are interested, 2 ISPW events. We got one in Westwood, New Jersey. That is Westwood, New Jersey on March 11th, Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Tommy Dreamer's taking on Rick Recon, who I interviewed here on the channel. Crowbar's taking on Alpha Jr. And then we got ISPW Living in the Now in Totowa on Friday, March 24th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where Hale Collins of the Now, I will be talking to Hale Collins very, very soon. Hale Collins will be challenging Bull James for the ISPW World Heavyweight Championship. It is going to be one hell of a month for ISPW. It's going to be one hell of a month for the DJ Storms brand. But until next time, she's Lisa. I'm DJ Storms. And this has been The Rundown. But before we get out of here, we're not done, because there's a very important question that everybody must answer. Lisa, who runs the IWC?
DJ freaking Storms.
Oh, you damn right, baby. Who but DJ motherfucking Storms? And don't you forget it.